New year, new makeup. I hope you all had a great holiday season. I wanted to sit down and create with you an updated fair skin makeup routine for the new year using new products because I'm the type of person that just uses the same products a lot, even though I have a lot of makeup. So I want to see in my collection what else I absolutely love for fair skin that I can share with you because I wish I had these recommendations. I would have never known to do these techniques or had these products like 5 years ago, and I wish I did. So if you have fair skin and you just need help with creating a good makeup look for you that feels natural, makes you feel beautiful, and just you love putting on, this is my go-to new updated routine. Before we start, if you didn't see my post on my community tab, I do have Invisalign now. If you're curious why my teeth look different, that is why. I will be doing a video on them very shortly. But also, speaking of new things for the new year, I do have a partnership with Halara to try on some more of their pieces for the winter at the end of the video. I have partnered with them before. If you haven't seen my videos with them, they're really awesome athletic wear brand. So stay tuned until the end of the video for the little try on, for updating my wardrobe for my fitness routine and just staying consistent with that throughout the new year. But let's go ahead and get into the makeup. All right, let's build our new everyday makeup routine. First off, my skin has just been not loving life, which is fine. So my first product is really necessary for me right now. It's also a new product for me. You may have seen me use it once or twice before, from the Ulta Beauty collection. It's their color correcting concealer, and this is the shade green. It's a very cool minty green compared to the CoverGirl primer that I really like that has more yellow in it. If you feel like this is maybe like too much of a warm green and you want something really cool, then this would be a good option. It is more pigmented, but you could definitely mix this in with a moisturizer and sort of make your own combination. But it can make me look dead very quickly because it's so cool toned, so I like to use it in a very small moderation, but it's a beautiful corrector. So mostly I just have dermatitis going around my mouth, but also like my rosacea. So I'm just gonna do a couple dots where I feel like I need it the most. I do have my skin prepped and everything already, and then I'm just gonna go in with my sponge because I like to really shear this out. I feel like this is a good application method. I do like how this blends into the skin nicely. It doesn't look too obvious. It kind of just knocks down that redness a little bit, so we don't have to use as much foundation on top. Now I know this is building a new makeup routine for the new year, but I feel like good foundations are few and far between, especially when you have sensitive skin and if you're a fair olive. So I'm still using my About Face foundations. I promise I'll keep trying ones in the new year to maybe find a new formula. I like a lot of foundations. I don't love a lot of them enough to like use them every day. This formula from About Face, the Perform Foundation, is definitely my most used foundation of 2024. I usually mix F1 Neutral with F2 Olive. This is just slightly dark for me, and this one, the undertone isn't as good as the olive one, but it's just so good and my skin doesn't react to it, so it's just beautiful. It doesn't feel like makeup. It performs really well. It doesn't get cakey. Performance for me with foundations is so important. There's so many foundations that look great when you first put them on, but they wear very poorly. I feel like things get cakey quite easily on my skin. I have a lot of texture going on, so I really like to stick with what I know. But yeah, if you have any recommendations, let me know. I will try them out if you really love them. Anyway, I just mixed those two on my face and then going in with my sponge. This layers really nicely with the Ulta concealer, by the way. If you've tried this foundation either off of my recommendation or you've just tried it in general, let me know what you think of it, if you like it or not. I feel like a lot of you do like this as well. I absolutely love it. Even just a thin layer does so much of the work to correct my skin because I usually don't do super full coverage, right? Like, it's fine if I've got a little bit of redness. You can see my blemishes going on because we'll go in with some more concealer, but I love that product. I just want to sing its praises. If you haven't tried it yet, please do if you like a lightweight, beautiful, medium, natural finish foundation. Now for concealers, I do have a new product here from Iris and Romeo that I want to incorporate into my routine, which is their Best Skin Days Treatment Concealer. Now I really want to incorporate this because my skin is just acting out a little bit right now, and I just have a lot more to cover, but when my skin is breaking out or if I have dermatitis, I really like to use more skincare based products or just products that are really good for your skin and formulated for skin health. So this would be one of them, and I'm going to use this as my concealer. It is quite full coverage, so you don't need a ton of it. I'm just going to use this to boost the coverage of the foundation, and this is the shade 1, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I love the Iris and Romeo SPF, so I was really excited to try this out. And I'm just using that same sponge, and I just think that covers beautifully. It feels really comfortable on the skin, and it feels like it's actually going to help heal my skin, which is great. For concealer, again, I'm so picky with concealers. I'm not going to be using a new one. The House Labs concealer, I use the shade Fair Golden. I have the same amount of love for this as I do the About Face foundation, where I'm just attached at the hip to it, because I don't know, I feel like I try new concealers and none of them ever perform well. It's very rare to find one that I really, really love like this one. So when I do find something, I stick to it. Maybe a little bit too much, but if you have any recommendations, let me know. Again, if you really, really love them. I just have problems with creasing, so this one works really great. Since my skin has also been a little bit more dry lately, I'm trying to incorporate more liquids and cream products. One of them being the e.l.f. Camo Bronzer and Contour. This shade Fair is a really good one for fair skin. It just has a nice like contour undertone. It is quite pigmented, so you don't need a lot of it. I love an affordable product for fair skin as well. To find something that's like not obscure or hard to get, that's great for fair skin. I love. So I'm going to grab my little flat contour brush from Luxie. It's literally called the flat contour. That's nice. And I'm just going to blend this in. They do have another fair shade of this, by the way, which is a slightly warmer, more bronzer tone. If you wanted more of a bronzy vibe, I personally like this one. I also do really enjoy the e.l.f. Fair Contour Halo Wand. I have a comparison of that when I first reviewed this product if you want to know the differences. I honestly didn't use contour product, at least other than the e.l.f. Halo Wand, for quite a while in 2024. So I want to sort of incorporate doing more of that in my everyday makeup routine and not just doing it for like more glam makeup, because I really do feel like with fair skin it makes such a difference to build up dimension in the skin. It helps us from looking flat. Speaking of creams, I also have a new Smashbox Hot Sticks. I saw this color and was like, this is perfect for fair skin if you love cool undertone. It's the stick blush in Ultraviolet, which is this pretty true purple shade. I wasn't sure if I was gonna love it because it's sort of a vibrant purple, but in moderation, it's quite a sheer, like really blendable stick. So I'm gonna take that and my Luxie small contouring brush, and I'm going to dab this on the cheek. And once it's blended in with my skin, I feel like it just mimics my natural blush really well. I do have another blush to talk about that is a powder, but we're going to be layering this first. Isn't that pretty? Like, I feel like it really does mimic the color my cheeks naturally get when they are a bit red, but you wouldn't really necessarily tell that on the hand because it looks so pigmented. But it's a really beautiful, cool, like lilac blush stick. Now we do have to set everything. I'm gonna use something really gentle, the 100% Pure Bamboo Blur Powder. I wanted to pull this out again. I love this, but I cycle through powders a lot. Wanted to bring this back just for my skin's sake, something really simple. And this is such a great one for fair skin because it is a truly translucent clear powder. I'm just smoothing any creases, by the way. I will say this is not flash proof, so don't wear it for photography. If you're not taking pictures on the normal basis, it should be fine. It's super oil controlling and very, very smoothing. I like to take that on a Real Techniques small under eye brush, and I just like to set everything in. If you feel like you put on powder on your skin and your oils like still just break through immediately, this is such a good one to try because I do have more dry skin right now, but around the sides of my nose and my forehead, like they just, I feel like the oils break through most powders immediately. So this is one that actually sets makeup and controls oil. The only thing is this can be a bit drying, so maybe don't use it in areas that you're not oily. I'm just gonna use it in my T-zone and use a different powder for the rest of the skin so I don't overdo the matteness. For the rest of the skin, I'm actually gonna use the Physicians Formula Diamond Blur Skincare Powder. Again, just something really nice and gentle for my skin. Also really great translucent lightweight powder for fair skin that is not yellow, and it's just such a great overall setting powder. I'm just using a bigger brush with this, and this is one that I like under the eyes as well, which is rare for drugstore powder. So yeah, like I said, overall great one. I'm gonna leave the cheeks unset. Do you feel like my under eyes are looking a little bit hollow? I'm gonna take a just small fluffy eyeshadow brush. This is a Refer 15 brush and my MAC Studio Fix foundation in NC10. And I just like to take a little bit of this right into that hollow area. I don't like to use this to set wet concealer because I do feel like it gets cakey, but on its own, just right in the darker areas, I think it works like a charm. Now for the rest of the cheeks, I do have a bronzer here from Well People, the Super Powder Bronzing Powder in Golden Hour. I really like this. I forget to mention it a lot, but it's sort of like a rosy red tone bronzer and it does have a silver shimmer in it that is quite pretty. Taking my Refer 18 brush, which is this smaller domed loosely packed brush. I like to dip in, but you can see that's quite pigmented. Always get the excess off. Number one tip I have for you if you have fair skin, just do that trick before you apply literally anything and it'll just help you from having like a streak of pigment on your face or going overboard, because we can always build things up, right? But once you have a big glob of bronzer on your face, it's a little bit harder to remove. And I just really like that this is giving me a little bit more warmth than my usual bronzers. I love the RMS Beach Walk Betty, but I was like, I need to change it up at least for a little bit. Right, that is looking very pretty. Now for blush and highlight. Florasis Candy Clouds. Absolutely had to bring this into the new year with me. This is just such a pastel blush. It is super light. I love to layer this with other blushes even on its own, but I usually place this sort of like right in this area, almost where you would place a highlight, but like right on the tops of the cheekbones. And I like to do a little bit on the nose too. I feel like this just brings more dimension and colors to my skin without it being like too much blush, because it's so pastel. It's kind of just like I don't even know what I would describe it as, just like a color powder, right? It's just acting like another shade that I can add to my face so the skin doesn't look too flat, and it just goes beautifully with that purple blush as well. And it's so buildable. You can see I'm just like layering it on and it just adds such a pretty brightness to the skin, and it's a nice mostly matte formula. Actually has a little bit of shimmer in there, but on the skin honestly not too noticeable. And then I'm gonna take this Bare Minerals highlighting blush in Opal Glow. This is a really interesting idea because obviously this would be too dark for fair skin as a highlight, but as a highlighting blush I'm taking my fan brush just a little bit and I'm sort of putting it just all over the cheek area, and I don't feel like it casts too dark. It just adds a nice glow to the products that we already had on, and a little bit on the nose as well. And I think this is a really pretty natural highlight at first. You could definitely like build it up, and Bare Minerals does such fun like combo products like highlighting blushes and bronzers, and they just have some really pretty like cool champagne tones like this one. For my brows, I'm gonna use the Velour Fluffin' Brow Pencil. We'll also be using a brow powder, and this is the shade Taupe. This is quite a thick pencil, so I'm just going to use this to fill in the most sparse areas. And then if you have light brows, I really recommend doing like a duo product, so like a brow pencil and a brow powder if you just feel like you have a lot of sparseness to fill in. Sometimes it doesn't fill in enough, or maybe you're getting like a lot of buildup. Using two products is quite helpful because the pencil sort of sticks on the skin a bit more, and then the powder will sit in the hairs a little bit more than the pencil. So together they sort of act differently, but help to fill in the brows. I'm gonna use my Anastasia Taupe Brow Powder Duo. I'm actually gonna mix both of these shades, and then I like to just press this into the brows. I've also really been liking taking a white powder foundation or just any white eyeshadow or a light powder and cleaning up the brows just to shape them a little bit more. Really good tip if you just feel like maybe you're not the best at your brows or as precise as you would like to be. I also really like to take this and feather it through the brows. This just sort of tones down the shade of my brows just to match my hair a little bit better. This white foundation, if you have pale skin, is such a good all-around product. You can use it for almost anything that you want it to. You can pop it in the inner corners, you can do under the eyes, just a really good brightening product. And then setting the brows in place with the Jones Road Clear Brow Gel. Alrighty, moving on to eyeshadow, which is going to be really fun. I'm going to start with the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Just one swipe on each eyelid, and then I like to use my finger just to pat it in. Okay, for eyeshadow, I have a new palette that's not my Natasha Denona little combo palette that I've made myself. And this is from ColourPop. It's the Aurora Struck palette, which is so gorgeous. This is like fair skin, cool toned dream palette from ColourPop. The Stone Cold Fox palette from them that is also this size has more neutrals. This is very like blue, pinks, purples, but also like just these really unique neutrals that I personally love to wear and I don't see in a lot of palettes. This, like especially these like grayish greens and these gray tones, give me the Natasha Denona Xenon vibes. Granted, it doesn't really have like a true cool silver, but what I use from the Xenon palette is actually a lot of those matte, just like really unique transition shades that remind me of this palette. I just think this is so pretty, and recently I've kind of been like inspired in changing up my everyday tones to these sort of like pastel greens, which I never thought, I don't know, for like an everyday look. I just always think of like neutrals, but sometimes just thinking outside of the box and finding those tones that work for you give you that new spice of life for your makeup. I also really love these purple tones. That'll have to be another video, but yeah, we're gonna be working in these like really cool gray greens. They're very muted, so they still feel really natural. I am actually going to start with this sort of, it's definitely the most warm shade in this palette. It's still not very warm. It's sort of just like a neutral-ish transition shade called Bucket List, just so we have a little bit of warmth in the socket to work with. If you are doing very cool tones, sometimes just a little bit of like a neutral brown helps bring it all together. And ColourPop eyeshadows are so nice, like they're awesome for the price. And then taking this really pastel light green here called Spiraling. This does have a bit of a blue purple shimmer in it. It's one of those ColourPop shades that seems matte but does have a little bit of shimmer. Usually when you blend them out though, it's not super noticeable. And when I apply this, you should be able to see that it just starts to like almost give this like concrete shade, which is it's just really fun. I've been loving these tones. And especially layered on top of the brown, like it doesn't look super green. It just is giving us a nice unique tone. Building that up further, this is a really great like stone matte shade called Geomagnetic. This is a true matte. I'm gonna start this right on the outer half of the eye. I'm just gonna build up the definition, and then just using my brush in circular motions to blend in with all those other shades. We have some really exciting lid options, but before we do that, I love how this has a really light shimmer color in here called Head North, which reminds me of a color in the Xenon palette that's just this frosty white that I'm almost hitting pan on. I'm gonna take a smaller flat brush. This is such a creamy metallic formula. If you know the ColourPop like true metallics, they're so good. And then I'm just going to pop this right on the arch of the brow, underneath the arch of the brow. I'm also gonna pop this on the inner corner. And there's not a matte white in this palette, but I do have that white foundation. So I'm just gonna pop that right on the inner corner. I like doing matte white just so it doesn't get sort of in my under eye creases. Okay, now let's evaluate our lid choices. There really is so many in this greenish bluish area. This one is more of like a Super Shock kind of looking color, so we're gonna skip that just because I usually don't wear those on the everyday. There's this beautiful palette beautiful shade called Feeling Wavy, which is a really pretty like icy blue but still very light. Then we also have this color Arctic Fox, which is the prettiest green. I'm like all of a sudden really into green tones. Actually, before we move on, I just saw another pretty shade. I want to take this shade Night Sky, which we haven't used yet. Also has some glitter in it, but it's like the green, slightly deeper version of that first transition shade we used. I'm just gonna do a little bit of this in the crease. This Super Shock color looks so fun too. I love these tones. Okay, so I'm deciding between like green or blue for the lid. I'm kind of feeling like I want to do this green. Start right on the center of the lid. Ooh, this is so pretty. These tones make me realize like, why haven't I been wearing green eyeshadow? Because I always thought of it as like warm greens, which I really don't like how they look on me. But these like cool pastel greens, I feel like they just match my eyes. I know this is like colorful for an everyday look, but I still feel like it pulls natural because everything is more that pastel tone. For the inner corner, I'm going back in just with that shimmery white just to fill in the rest of that space. You also get such nice matte shades you could use for a liner. Like this deep gray reminds me of the Xenon palette. There's obviously the black, but also like these deep blues and greens. You could definitely use this deep purple. Absolutely love this palette. Can't wait to do like the pink version of this look as well. And I feel like sometimes maybe if you have fair skin, and don't be afraid to experiment with different colors when you have fair skin. A lot of the times we can be like hesitant of them. I definitely am. But as long as you keep it pastel, usually they work for our skin, right? You can play with different tones and figure out what you like. Because for me, this I would never call this an everyday look or create this before I really started adapting techniques for fair skin. This palette is just beautiful because it's so light, it's so pastel. It still seems harmonious with my skin without being overpowering. I do think a little waterline is gonna help this look out. I'm actually gonna use purple. Hopefully it will sort of pop the green even more. This is from NYX, by the way, the Epic Wear Liner Stick in Periwinkle Pop. You know I love these. I do wonder if NYX has like a light green sparkle version of this because I definitely need it. But for liner, I'm actually gonna do a liquid liner. I know I do powder eyeshadow a lot, but new year, new makeup, so I'm gonna do a liner from Beauty Pie. This is the Deluxe Precision Liquid Liner in Java Brown. Still highly recommend brown if you have fair skin in medium to low contrast. And I think the brown with the green looks really pretty. And then let's curl the lashes using my Rephr eyelash curler. I really like the combo of the green and like the purple blush that we have on because those two shades go so well together. So doing like a more purple blush with the green eye, my new favorite color. I'm using the Swede Pro Lash Lift Mascara in the shade dark brown to go with the brown liner. Now that I have Invisalign, what I'm using on my lips is definitely changing because I've yet to find a lipstick that doesn't transfer onto my Invisalign just because my teeth do flare out a little bit. So now that I have a tray on, it's just like my lips just hit it and it comes off. So I've just been using lighter lip colors so it's less noticeable, or like clear glosses. But I'm still on the hunt. I feel like I need to find something that at least is somewhat staying put. But I have found that this lip liner is amazing. The NYX Line Loud one in Fierce Flirt. This does not move off of your lips, so it's awesome. If you've had Invisalign and maybe had that same like lip issue, let me know if you have any like favorite lip products that you feel like you could actually wear with them. Let's go ahead and pop this on. It's also been a little bit of a change with how I line my lips because when I first got these, I swear my lips felt huge, like especially my upper lip. I was like, because it's like sitting on top of more, it just seems like the way I would line it usually, like it looked weird, like I was overlining it, so I had to like adapt that a little bit. But I feel like I've mostly found a new way to do it, just a little bit more natural to my lip shape. I've been loving this from Beauty Pie. This is their unforgettable, I don't know what these are called. They're like a matte balm that give you this like, they're kind of sheer at first, but when you build it up, like I just love this like matte blurred effect because I always love a blurred lip look, and this is just like that in a formula, and the color is beautiful and it feels so lightweight and I don't feel like it transfers too much. So it's like really matte and silky but moisturizing. It doesn't feel dry. It's awesome. And I love that it just instantly gives you that blurred lip look. Like I don't even have to go in and blur it out. I want to see what other shades I have with this, but I was like not expecting this to be such an awesome formula. Still been wearing gloss despite it getting on my trays because can't take the gloss away from me. I love the Chantecaille Love shade, which is this really pretty light pink shade. This has a little brush tip. Usually I've been keeping it on like the outside of my lip because the inside will transfer a lot. So that's a little tip as well. Here's the updated makeup routine for fair skin. Loving the green tones. I just think everything, all these pastel tones together are so beautiful. If you have fair skin, pastels are your friend. Try them out in eyeshadow in different ways to incorporate them into your makeup. The pastel blush really adds dimension. There's so many things here that I wouldn't have known to pick 5 years ago, but now I'm like, I cannot live without these. They are so pretty, made me feel so confident in my skin. Head and get started with our Halara try-on. I'm so excited to be ending the year with a Halara partnership. If you haven't seen my videos with them in the spring and summer, they make some really awesome athletic wear, athleisure wear. And what makes Halara so unique and why I personally love their designs so much is they actually take your input and comments into consideration when they're making their new designs. There's so many products from them that I've just never seen from any other brands, like having built-in shorts where you can go to the bathroom in like athletic wear dresses, and just little touches to their pieces that I'm just like, this is my dream piece. So you can really see it come through in their designs. If you want to help shape their future designs, they actually have this really cool event called Halara Circle, and it's on every second Sunday of the month. And essentially you get a little sneak peek at their designs, and you can give your input to their new designs and basically shape their future products, which I think is amazing, and every company should be doing this, but unfortunately not a lot of them do. So that's why I absolutely love their brand ethos. So let's go ahead and get started in the try on. I will have the link to the Halara Circle if you want to participate, along with a 20% discount code for Halara. But let's go ahead and get started. Starting with this beautiful top that I have on now, one of my favorite shades that Halara make. It's this really beautiful, like cool ballerina pink, and I wasn't sure I was gonna like this. It has this really beautiful, like almost like, I just like how it has this like little draped effect to it. It does have removable cuffs so you can take them in or leave them out, and this is their Softly fabric, I believe, which if you're confused between sort of their fabrics, the Softlyzero fabric is really soft and comfortable, so it's not as compressive, so great for more low impact activities or like just wearing for every day. If you did want this to fit a little bit more snug, you could size down. I feel like I could size down if I wanted to. I absolutely love the thumb holes in here, especially if I'm lifting weights or something. It just helps prevent blisters that I always get, and it's just those little touches that I love from Halara. And this is a beautiful top, absolutely love. Really glad I tried it. It's such a good like long sleeve cropped option, so beautiful. I will link this color, by the way, it's my absolute favorite. Next I have this beautiful navy blue top. Another one of my favorite Halara colors is that they do navy in a lot of options, whereas if I would typically pick black, I like to do navy. I feel like it's a lot more flattering. This does also have the little thumb holes in it. It's a really simple top, but I really like the seam right on the waist. It's super flattering, it fits great. Another just basic athletic piece that I'm gonna probably wear so much. It's a great long sleeve option, but it's not gonna be too hot because of the material. You could layer whatever you want on top or underneath it, so I thought this was just an amazing basic to have for the new year. Another beautiful pink piece from Halara is this wrap that also has a little thumb hole detail. I really like how it has these like larger sleeves that sort of taper at the wrist. It makes it really flattering. Also has this wrap detail. You could tie this a bunch of different ways. I thought this was an adorable layer just if you're a little bit cold in the gym or just running around and you want like a light layer. It is so incredibly soft. I like that there's no tag here. It feels so dreamy on the skin. Just another beautiful versatile piece. I could totally see layered with all of my other Halara pieces. I'm thinking specifically of the sports bras that I have from them if you saw in my other try-ons. So yeah, love this. They come in some other colors, I believe, but of course this baby pink, absolute favorite. I thought another great layering piece would be this little cropped waffle knit hoodie from them. I really love this waffle texture. I wanted something a little bit warmer. The color, again, beautiful baby blue. I got this in a medium. It's like a tad bit oversized almost, which is why I went to a medium. I could probably do a small for a closer fit, so just depending on how you want it to fit, keep that in mind. It has a cute little hood, a little zipper detail, so you could easily take it on and off. Perfect for a warm up, and this is one that I just super easily transition into just like leisure wear it at home, go out with it. It's super cute and you can wear so many ways. Next is this sweater, which is going to be really hard to tell what it looks like until you see the try on. It is this roll neck turtleneck, and it's sort of cut like a triangular shape at the bottom with these sort of balloon sleeves, but then it's fitted all the way to the wrist, which I love because when a sweater doesn't have like a ton of shape in the body, the arm definition I think really makes it even more flattering. And the cut at the bottom is so cool. It sort of has this like asymmetrical vibe to it. It kind of makes me feel like a fairy, like it's a little bit of a extra little cool element to a sweater that makes it really unique. It has this beautiful ribbed fabric. This is super cozy and warm. Also don't really love turtlenecks that come up too high. I don't really have a lot of neck space to work with, but this one rolls over really easy and it's super soft. It's not uncomfortable at all. So this is another great loungewear piece. I would wear this out at home It's just so cozy. Next are some of my favorite leggings from them that I wanted to get another color in because I wear my black ones so much. So these are like their crossover, the soft material flare legging, and what I absolutely love is these have a petite length, so they actually fit my legs perfectly, and they have this really beautiful like burgundy red that I absolutely needed to try. I think it would go really pretty with like these pinks that I have and with blue. Really with anything, I really like this beautiful muted color. These are super soft and flattering. Like I mentioned, I wear them all the time just to like run errands or for working out. They are super comfy, and I find that the crossover band is really flattering, so I love these. They're a classic. And then this is also another legging that I already have from them. I love Halara Leggings. They've absolutely taken over my athletic collection. These are their, I forget what they're called. I think they're like a tummy controlling legging. So they have this really thick band here that's really compressive, and they don't roll down, and they are just so ultra flattering. If you want something that's really supportive and compressive on the top but still comfortable on the legs, I can't recommend these enough. And I believe I got these in the 7/8 length, so they're not too long on me, and the navy again is classic, goes with so many of my other colors. So I recommend this for more of like an actual workout, or if you just like having more of a compressive shaping band, you would love this bit. And then another legging from them is this crossover one in their softer material. I ended up sizing down in this one. Yeah, I got these in a small because I do have them in a medium in the navy, which I really like for more like casual days. Thought these would be a bit nicer for working out. Slightly more compressive, like I mentioned, if you like this fabric and you want to be slightly more snug, I would just size down one. Had to get this beautiful purple color to match one of the tops that I have from Halara already. Another one of my favorite legging styles, they have these little pockets. 7/8 lengths. Again, if you are petite, just get 7/8 length if Halara doesn't specifically have a petite length for a legging style, because it's going to be shorter obviously, but they do have petite options in a lot of the other ones like I mentioned, like the flare leggings that definitely need a shorter inseam to work on me. So beautiful little plum piece here. And then I saw these black leggings that again are in their soft material, but they have this really beautiful lace cutout. You can't really see, you'll be able to see better in the try on. Absolutely gorgeous lace cutout on the side. I love lace, so I saw these and I knew I had to get them. I actually have a lace top from Halara that I love as well, and these are like sort of the matching leggings. I thought these were so cute, and I love the little details that just make leggings like a little bit more special. Black is classic, so I'm probably gonna be wearing these a ton. I feel like these would also be really cute just with like a sweater or something. And then we have these beautiful red leggings. I feel like Valentine's Day with this combo, and these have a little butt scrunch, and they actually are, I think they're called butt lifting leggings. They have like this band underneath that is supposed to shape your butt, I believe, and yeah, they definitely do. They have such a nice supportive band. Reminds me of the tummy shaping leggings, but with even more like oomph to them. And I like the pockets on the side. These are really cute. The red is showing up a little more orange on camera, but this is like a beautiful cherry red, one of my favorite red shades. I think these are so cute, and the length is beautiful as well. Another really fun piece are these leggings, again in their soft material, so I believe I sized down to a size small instead. I have these in blue actually. I love the look of these because you could definitely just wear these with a sweater. They kind of almost look like leather, but they are so comfy, and I just like the little detail of like a legging, but something that's a little bit different. And these are super duper cute. I like the crossover band, all the great details of a Halara legging that I love. Last but not least, Halara does also sell a lot of like non-athletic clothes, like this beautiful skirt, but they have the Halara touch to them. This is such a cute like corduroy material in this beautiful brown. I usually don't love most shades of brown, but this is my favorite. It's like, we'll call it like a teddy bear brown. It's not overly warm, so I feel like it's flattering, and it has a really nice zipper on the back. What's beautiful about these is they have little built-in shorts to them, so not only when you wear these like without tights, it's gonna prevent chafing, but if you wear them with tights as well, it's basically built-in shapewear, which I love. They're really easy to put on and off, and it's just that Halara touch that you can't find anywhere else, like shaping shorts in a skirt. Love that. Really beautiful, just cozy little skirt. I could definitely wear this basically all season depending on how you style it. Those were all of my Halara pieces for a try on. Don't forget to check the description below for the link for the Halara circle, also to get 20% off your order if you saw anything you wanted to check out, or if you just wanted to browse their site and see what they're all about. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you in my next video. Bye.